Welcome to Cousins Honestly Openly Discussing Everything Spicy. In this case,
welcome
spooky.
to the Chodes. You know what? That was good. I'm sorry.
Boo! Boo! You interrupted my ghost.
Ma'am, you always complain that I go in too late, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it like right away. And
this one was ooh, you had to do the ghost, Mariah, not the freaking pigeon. Do the ghost of the pigeon.
No, I do. How does a dead bird sound? No, I don't even know. That sounds more like a cat. That was like an angry cat.
That was a that was a zombie pigeon.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna leave the special effects to you.
Thank you.
How are we doing, babe?
Hollywood Productions. We're good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm hot.
Where is the fall? I want my flannel. I want a cozy sweater. What the hell?
Baby, let me tell you, we do not experience weather in California. We experience fucking... I don't even know what this is. Are the fires still going on?
We experience fires. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well.
That's all we experience. Fires, droughts.
It's crazy because the people of fucking Florida and Mexico, like, they're drowning, literally drowning. And over here, we're like, cold wear, rain wear, water wear.
Mm-hmm. We'll see it. Hopefully. But hopefully it's not too dangerous, right? That's another thing with California. We see a little raindrop and we're like, I don't know how to drive. I don't know what to do. I don't even know how to walk. I don't know what's going to happen to my house.
I don't know how to drive in dry land. Imagine when it's...
Girl, it's a different experience. That what is it? Hydroplaning?
No. Hydroplaning, yeah. According to the DMV handbook, you're supposed to slow down. I'm an expert on that shit now, dude. I'd be telling everybody what they're doing wrong when they're driving. I'm like, according to the DMV handbook, you can't be doing this.
I know, like the other day, you didn't even notice when my dad's driving all crazy, and I'm over here like holding on like a spider in the fucking back seat, and you were like, "What's going on?" And then you started paying attention.
No, girl. See, what happens with me is that I'm so used to getting into so many people's cars every fucking day. So when something like that happens, I'm like, I'm not even faced by it anymore because everybody drives different, and I'm just like, well, this is just the car that I'm in today. Can't control that. Mm-hmm.
This is true.
Yeah, so it's like what am I gonna do? If I panic, there's no use. But sometimes I do feel like, ooh, you're too close to that truck. Like the other day, my friend picked me up from the bus stop, and he has like a little convertible car. This fool was swerving in between buses and trucks, and I was just like, honey, your car is not big enough for you to be doing that. But I didn't say anything.
I can't wait to see you on the road, Mariah, and join us in that hydroplaning life. Don't join us.
My best friend's daughter says that I'm gonna be a menace. She's like, Maria, you're gonna have a lot of road rage.
Hell yeah. You seen me how I get, and you're like, I've never seen you. Yep, just put me behind the wheel and I'll start cussing out everyone, getting mad for no reason.
Dude, I saw the story the other day where some girl was talking about how like she was like flipping off some old lady in the freeway, and then when she got next to the car, it was her mom. And I'm like, how do you not know what car your mom drives, bro?
Dumbass. I'm sorry.
Like,
dumbass.
Yeah. I'm like, some things that never happen on the internet. But you know how last week we talked about the Menendez brothers? Today there was a news article that they might get resentenced, so they're looking into, I guess, releasing them. So
yeah, they're trying to seek parole.
So that's the update from last week's episode. Hey.
You're like, hey, we did something. Just kidding.
I know, it's all because of us.
I know. Did you watch it? By the way, did you watch it?
I'm gonna be honest with you, babe. I stopped paying for Netflix because well, apparently paying $11.99 a month is preventing me from buying a house. So I'm trying to cut down on costs.
Okay.
Yeah. So I haven't watched it, but I will. Because you know how I told you I was watching Emily in Paris because I had like a free trial, and girl, my free trial ended and I didn't finish it. because I shouldn't be saying this on the air, but I was watching it at work during lunch, and I was trying not to watch it during my work hours. Because obviously, you know, like I'm like, esta estúpida. Like she gets me so fucking mad. I cannot with her. But I didn't finish watching it because my free trial ended. The struggle.
All bad, bro. All bad. When I get access, I go on it and I watch it and I try to enjoy it. But right now I'm watching Love is Blind, UK. So that's my garbage from my mind that I like to watch.
Yeah.
You can't see me, but I'm smiling at the mic as I finish that sentence. I'm like, yeah, all happy.
I'm like, you can't see me, but I'm like, I have that, like, you know, that cat that I sent you the other day where the girl's like, look at her, she's happy, and like the face the cat had, like,
bitch.
That's me right now. But anyway, babe, welcome to the month of October. I feel like I come alive in October.
You're a witch.
That I am. I just told that to my brother.
Again.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to my brother and he's like, where are you going? And I was like, why does everybody assume I'm going somewhere? I just want to look nice for work, which I never fucking do, by the way. But the other day, some girl was like, oh, you look nice today. And I was like, just today? And like with a straight face, she said, yeah, just today. So I've been dressing up every day of the week because I'm like, you stupid dumb bitch, you're not going to make me feel like shit. So I told my brother, well, I'm a witch, you know, in October, we look nice. And he's like, you scare me sometimes. I'm like, good. You should be scared.
Like, not me doing that to my brother when we're watching the Menendez show. And I'm like, I'm getting ideas on how to kill you and get away with it. This is very incriminating.
You know what? I was like, ma'am, are you sure you want to be saying this?
No. No, on second thought, no. But it was a joke, you guys. I'm sorry. But that's what I tell him and with the face. And then he's like, you scare me. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you know.
You have to instill fear in those that have put fear in us.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I had a friend when I was going to UEI for medical billing and coding. She was going... Well, she was in my class, but her boyfriend was in dental school. And... one day we were learning about I guess we have like a vein on the side of our arm that if that vein gets cut, like that's it, you're dead, because there's no way to stop it. And so she saw her boyfriend talking to some girl from his class. And when we went on break all together, she was like, babe, guess what I learned today? And then he's like, what's up, babe? Like, what do you learn? Because they were a little like, you know. And she's like, I learned how to kill you and make it look like an accident. And she said it with like the smiliest face. And her boyfriend just looked at me and I was like, you know what? This is true. We did learn that today. And then she was like, so if I see you talking to that bitch again, you already know. And I was like, well.
I'm just saying, I watched a lot of snaps. So. But it was, you know, to instill fear in my ex.
You should see my face right now. I'm like, damn, this episode is getting wild.
I like how I had an evil ass laugh.
Dude.
For no damn reason.
I love how people think that I'm the crazy one, but like, if anything, is proven in here.
No, I know, right? Leslie can be crazy, but
if
we don't like to see her come out.
No, don't make her come out. You don't want to see that. But
what's the movie? The Emotions. What is it? Inside Out.
I know. I was saying those fools are all inside us.
Yeah. So that one, the angry guy is there. Can't wait to press the button. So I keep him at bay.
You're like, don't try me.
Don't try that guy. That one is the worst one. Always trying to press that button.
Oh, man. But anyway, babe, what are we talking about today?
Today, we're talking about our personal paranormal experiences.
Ooh.
But they're not necessarily ghost stories. But, I mean, they're things that happen to us or to people that we know. And I don't know how you would explain that. So I would just say... paranormal or I guess medium experiences fitting for this month, right?
Yep. Do you have any experiences, any occurrences? Oh, you said you were going to talk about the one at the Queen Mary.
So that's one of the ones that like I felt. I haven't seen. I haven't. I mean, I guess I can say I've heard. I just don't hear it like where I can debunk it, like say that's not what I heard. But I've heard noises. I felt like on my skin, like a grab. Not like, oh, I felt the chills or I felt, some type of way. No, I literally felt something. Sorry. So, I was at the Queen Mary. We were doing the winter festival thing. Basically, it's the opposite of horror or haunted. What is it? Haunted Harbor.
The Dark Harbor?
Yes, it's like more festive, like very Christmassy. They have lights, they have ice slides, they have an ice skating rink and a bunch of photo ops, right? But you can also go on the boat. And I've never been on the boat, so I was like, let's check it out. And it was like myself and probably like 6 more people with us in our friend group. And we had split up. So 4 went towards the front of the boat. Myself and 2 others, we went towards the back of the boat. And we were just walking on the deck and we were just exploring. We went through this little narrow pathway to get to the other side of the boat. But just so we can go through the captain's quarters. And we were walking together in a line. And as we're passing the captain's quarters, all of us at the same time did a... And we just took a deep breath. And as we're doing that, like as we're like exhaling, we're looking at each other like, the hell? Like, how are we, all of us, doing that at the same time? And we were just like laughing and we're like, what the hell? What was that? And then we all felt out of breath. Mind you, this is a level deck. It's not like I'm climbing a hill. But we all took a breath. Okay, that was weird. Didn't read into it. We're like, okay, let's go find the rest of the people. So now we're walking towards the front of the boat. And we're still like kind of laughing. For me, I was very hesitant to go to the front of the boat. Can't even explain to you to this day why I didn't want to go to the front of the boat. Just something was telling me, don't go to the front of the boat. And literally all
Is that where the pool is at?
Okay, so I didn't know that. Yeah. So
okay.
Mind you, I'm on the deck. So like on the top, right? The more exposed area of the boat. So we're walking towards the front and I just, as much as I wanted to go further, I was scared. So but obviously like my friends were there, so I was like, okay, let's go. But I didn't want to push it further. I kept telling them, let's go. We end up going to the lower level so that we can exit the boat through the door, right? Where we exit and it takes you on an elevator to get out. So as we're going down to that level where you're supposed to exit the boat, I'm literally walking towards the elevator. Like I see the elevator. I haven't stepped off the boat yet. And my peripherals to my left, I see like clarity. Like I can still see like movement. I can still see people. I see what's going on to my left. On my right, which is the front of the boat, again, pitch black. That was the only difference. It was just black on my peripherals. Okay, so just picture that for you guys. And to me, that's funny because I was like, what? And I literally turned my head to look to the back, and I can see all the way down. I turned to my right so I can see what's dark, and it's just dark. Like I can't even see past, like, I don't know, 5 feet in front of me. And I laughed. As I'm laughing, I take a step out of the boat. The foot that's still in the boat, I feel someone grab it and tug it.
Ooh.
Okay, like pull me in. And I'm like, I laughed. I laughed because it's like, there's no way. No one was behind me. No one was around me when I was exiting the boat. My friends were already at the elevator. I was the last one to exit the boat. So for me, it was like, it was fun. It was funny, but it was like the craziest experience for me because I literally felt 2 hands on my calf pull me, which is crazy.
You should see my face right now. I'm like holding on to myself.
But that's the only time I've experienced anything on that boat. So at my brother's wedding, I didn't experience anything. I even got lost during the rehearsal of the wedding. In those corridors, me and my cousin got lost. Not you, of course, but my other cousin.
Yeah.
And if for those that have been on the boat, but for those of you who don't, in the elevator, it's not numbers, it's letters. So they told us that we were going to be on level M for the reception. So we pressed M, like there's no hit or miss on that one, pressed M. We ended up on level B and the M was lit up. As the elevator opens, we step out because we think it's M, and it's just no one. Empty corridors. It feels like very weird, but we hear the voices of like the rest of our group or our family. So we're like, we can't be wrong. We get back in the elevator and we looked at, we pressed M. We pressed M, but it took us to that. So we just got back in, pressed it again, and it took us to the correct level. Even though we could have taken the stairs. Because yeah. But we were just laughing about it. We're like, that was weird. But it wasn't like anything strange.
That happened to us too with my mom. And I was like, I'm not getting back in that elevator. I'm just taking the stairs. So
right?
I made my mom take the stairs.
Because the stairs are literally right there. And it's not like steep stairs where it's like, oh, fuck, like I have to climb this other level. No, they're like pretty close by. So it was just weird. So we just laughed about it. We're like, maybe it's the elevator glitch.
It's the whole fucking boat glitch.
But really quick, so this is not my experience. This was someone else. So during the wedding, obviously the bride and groom, they stayed at the boat at the Queen Mary. They stayed that night. But also some of the immediate family members. I was not one of the chosen, but my sister-in-law's
shade.
I know. Not just kidding. My sister-in-law's aunt stayed in a room with her cousin. So basically, her aunt, her cousin were in one room, and their room was closest to the stairs. Again, if you haven't been in there, it's probably like the first room that starts going along the corridor. After that, there's a big gap in the middle, which is where the stairs are, and then on the other side is the other hallway. So across from their room was a door, but it was like a mock door, a door that leads to nothing. But they didn't know that. So they didn't know that the door across from them was a mock room. But at night, like around 9 p.m., they said that they heard a conversation outside of the hallway. They were in the room, so but they could just hear a conversation escalate in the hallway outside their door. And they said it was a man and a woman, and that it seemed like they were a couple and they were fighting. And the conversation escalated to the point where they thought the man was going to harm the woman. So they felt like maybe we should intervene because this guy's about to do something to her. Like they were into the tea. Like they were already like, this conversation's getting deep. So they opened the door and there was no one. No one. And I'm telling you that these hallways are long. So there's no way to walk away.
No, you can't. Like if you guys are not from California, or if you've never been to the Queen Mary, these hallways are scary. Like they look like when you have two mirrors and you could see like the reflection of the mirror on the other mirror, and it just looks like a never ending hallway. That's how the Queen Mary's hallways look. And it's like you feel like you're never gonna get to your destination. Like when we were walking out that day of the wedding, I was like, when are we getting out of here? Because like it was scary just to walk there. And there's also a lot of history behind the Queen Mary and everything that's happened there. But yeah, carry on. Sorry.
No, yeah. Those hallways are ridiculously long. They feel never ending. And I think you described it perfectly about the mirrors. And even when you turn to the opposite side, like I said, there's a gap where the stairs are. And like once you pass that gap, you get to the other hallway, which would be the front of the boat. And it just looks like when you're on the gap, if you look to your left or look to your right, it just feels like a long ass hallway. So if someone were to walk or be away, you would see them. There's no like in between or passageway to hide. Like the doors are right there. You would see the people, and there's like the way that they described it is that they opened the door immediately. So you would hear them open a door if they went into a room. So yeah, they were like, maybe they're in the room that's across from us. But they stopped. Like they never heard any fighting after that. It was just, that was it. And they found out later that that room is not even a room. It's just a door that has nothing in it. It's not even a closet. It's nothing. It's just a fake door. Because literally, if you were to open it, it's the stairs. That's what that is.
No, muchas gracias, joven. No, thank you. That is scary.
So, okay, that was
I for sure thought that we were going to see or I was going to see something when we were there. But thankfully, well, just what I told you, that like when we got off the elevator with my mom, because really there was no signs like party this way type of thing. So you were just trying to find where to go. And you told me about the elevator, I think. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to follow instructions. And I did the same thing that you're describing. And we got to a place where me and my mom were like, where are we? And I was like, yeah, let's just take the stairs, because I don't want to get stuck in an elevator in an old ass boat that is fully fucking haunted.
And it's crazy, right? Because like where we were at, when we were trying to locate you guys, there was a lot of people on that level. Mm-hmm. But once you end up in a weird hallway where there's no one, you're like, there's no way. I know there's people here, because there is. We even tried to get a room, right? And it was booked. So you know that all the rooms are occupied. So that was the crazy part about that. So real quick, so we finished on the Queen Mary, unless you have another story about the Queen Mary. I have one more. I have a friend that he went to the Queen Mary to celebrate his wedding anniversary with his wife. His wife is all about the spookiness. And they went literally last month in the weekend of the 14th. Okay. And
September? Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And he booked just no in particular, just a room. And they stayed the night. He wanted to surprise her because it was Friday the 13th. Oh, that's what it was. It was Friday the 13th, and he wanted to surprise her. And then the next day was their wedding anniversary. So, you know, it was perfect for her. Well, he says that at 3 a.m, he woke up because the room next door, he kept hearing like the hangers in the closet shuffling, like a bunch of drawers slamming, like people looking through the closet, right? So he was like, this doesn't make sense. And he didn't want to wake up his wife, but he was like, you know, let me just call the front desk to see if something's going on, so that they can do like a courtesy call or something to let them know to keep it down. He calls them and he says, I'm staying in room blah blah blah, and the room next door is making a lot of noise. Like I hear a lot of like they're going through a closet. And they were like, well, no one's staying in that room.
Oh, him. I'll be like, baby, wake up. I don't want to scare you, but we're getting the fuck out of here. Well, if his wife is into the spooky, he should have woken her up. Be like, hey, there's ghosts next to us.
No, well, his thing was that he wanted to go explore the boat. He's like, well, if I'm hearing noise right now, I should go out there and see what's going on. And he was like, well, I don't want to scare her and have her wake up and see no one. I was like, this guy. So, yeah, very contradictory, but he was telling us that.
You sound sus. You sound scared.
Yeah. And then he said that in the morning he had told his wife about it, and she was like, I heard it too.
Stop it. And she acted like she was asleep. She was like, oh, hell no. Well, she was smart.
I know. Yeah, that's like what a girl would do. I'm like, I'm not going to ask for help.
Yeah, she was like, I heard nothing. I saw nothing. Dumb.
Yeah, but that's about it for the Queen Mary on my end.
See, this is why people die in movies, because they want to go see what the fuck is up. I'll be like, yeah, never mind. I'm good on that. Dumb.
I got out and I said, I'm not going back. And then here I was at my brother's wedding.
Well, we kind of had no choice. But yeah. No, I don't have any stories about the Queen Mary, but mine is kind of related to the ocean, I guess. So we mentioned briefly in another episode the one time we were together and a lot of things happened and I ended up almost drowning. And so I don't think you and I have ever discussed like the aftermath of that. No. But what happened was I was panicked because both of us got thrown down by the ocean. Like, so we were we were on the shore, right? Yeah. We were on the shore, and then, like, I just remember a big-ass wave, like, the size of us came. Or that's how I remember it. I don't know if... I'm exaggerating. And threw us both down. And I was like, bitch, let's get the fuck out of here. And then the ocean was just like, you're coming with me. And so I got pulled into the ocean, and you were drunk. And so I was like, oh, my God, I don't know if Leslie can get out. And so I was like, oh, my God, like, is she out? Is she not? Is she drowning? Like, are we both drowning? What the fuck is happening? So I was panicking because I didn't know what the fuck was happening with you. And so in this whole thing, I think I got caught in, like, a riptide. Mm-hmm. And so every time I would come out of the water, I would see the lights from the houses getting farther and farther away. And at the same time that this whole fucking thing is happening, the fireworks are going off because it's 4th of July. And so even if I was screaming for help, but obviously you can't fucking hear it because the fireworks are going out. So I was trying to swim out, but at this point in time, I did not know that you're not supposed to try to swim forward. You're supposed to try to swim diagonally. And so the thing is that I kept trying to get out and I couldn't. And there was a point where I was like, okay, this is how I die. This is my biggest fear. This is how I'm going to die, like for sure. And I was tired of like trying to get out. And so I kind of let myself go to like the point where I was like, okay, I'm going to die. Like this is it. And I felt something pulling my foot. And I don't know what the fuck it was, obviously. And I don't really know what happened after that. I know that some guys like went in to get me out. They got me out. And then after that, I couldn't sleep in the dark for weeks, months even, because what would happen to me is that I would start hearing voices and I would start seeing shit. So remember at this point, I was living in that little garage and well, there was no windows. So there was no way that it could be like a shadow from the outside, for example. And so I would see weird things and I felt like somebody was always watching me. You know that song like, and I always feel like somebody's watching me. Anyway. Yeah, so that's how I felt all the time. And it got to the point where, you know, our grandma is very religious. And she was here at that time. And one time I went to stay over at our aunt's house. And I was like, she saw that I was restless. And she was like, what happened? Like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, well, ever since that incident, you know, like I've been seeing things and I feel like I can't sleep. And I constantly feel like there's bad energies around me. And she ended up praying for me. She gave me like this crucifix. I guess that's what you call it. It was like a wooden cross. Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, you're gonna like sleep with this and you're gonna pray and this and this and that. And she took me to church and she like had the priest like throw some holy water at me. And so it did minimize, but it never fully went away. So I still can't sleep without a light. So I have Christmas lights in my living room that go on at 11 p.m. and they go off like at 6 a.m. because of that. So I can't really tell you that it's paranormal in the sense that it's ghosts and stuff, mm-hmm. But I feel like there was an energy that was trying to pull me into the ocean that night and they weren't able to get me. And you know that I'm very like spiritual and like I believe in like energies and all of that shit. And so I feel like there was something that got attached to me that time and I've always kind of had it with me ever since.
That makes a lot of sense because I didn't know. It's like, I don't know why you didn't want to tell me. I mean, you always tell me, oh, because of the time, but I don't want to talk about it. And I never understood why you never wanted to talk to me about it, but I never pushed you to say more. Mm-hmm. But that time, what happened is my glasses fell into the water and I was trying to get them. I think both you were like, no, just let them go. And I was still trying to get them. And they ended up going and I kept walking further to get them. And then that's when a wave crashed on us and it pulled us. The weird part is that you went straight in a way. You got pulled straight in. And I got pushed towards the rocks that were all the way on the other side. That to me is crazy. And mm-hmm. Yes, obviously I was drunk. So I blacked out. But something made me open my eyes. And when I opened them, I was about to hit the rocks. And something just made me open my eyes. And that's why I was able to cover my face. Or else I would have impaled the rocks. But I was able to like push myself against it. And then I grabbed onto the rock. Obviously, if anyone who's been in...
Where were there rocks? Well, I don't... Honestly, dude, like I had never been to that beach. So beach, so I don't really know, like I can't remember the layout of it. And it was fucking 9 p.m. bro, like mm-hmm. We couldn't fucking see anything. Our friends that were with us right. Couldn't
the fireworks
swim.
Are going off, so I'm mm-hmm. on these rocks. A wave is about to crash on me, so I have to grab onto these slippery ass rocks because they're slippery. Mm-hmm. And I hold on, and I got scratched on my side because I was holding onto the damn rocks. And somehow I had to climb those rocks to get out, or else there was no way. I would have been dead right there. I would have gotten crushed. When I got out, I can see, it's like if I'm on a hill girl, and I see you in the water. I just see your hands, but you're like far from me. Like, even if I were to jump in the water, like, there was no way that I can swim to you. And so I don't even know how I got dragged to that point, but I start walking towards the sand and then going that way. And I can hear them yelling for you. And I'm yelling for you. And then you stopped. And that's when these other guys that were there, when I wasn't even near that area. I was like probably halfway there when those guys, I saw them go in the water to go get you. And then they got you.
Thank God that they were there. Because... Yeah. The friends that we were with, neither of them knew how to swim, just you and me, and you were drunk as fuck. And I know that our friend, the pigeon, wouldn't let you back in because he was like, no, I can't have you both in the water. That's why he's always like, you Monroy's in the fucking water. Because you wanted to go in, and he was like, no, like, you can't. Yeah. And then...
But I was like, I kept telling him, but I can get her, and I can get her. So, yeah, they got you out. But after that, you did have this thing about noises and being in the dark. That much I gathered.
Yeah, and... Yeah, so it was years. This is 2015, 2016 that this happened?
So, like, almost 10 years.
Oh, shit. Fuck, for real? Damn, that's crazy. So yeah, that's about that time ago, and I wasn't able to go. I've gone to the beach, I've gone to the ocean, and I hadn't been able to get into the water. And it wasn't until I think 2022 with my ex that we went to the beach in Guatemala, and he was like, no, like, it's fine, come in. And I was like, no, I don't want to. He was like, no, it's fine. Like, I got you. Like, don't worry. And my brother and my nephew and his son, they were like, come on, let's go. Like, you're fine. And I was like, no, I really don't want to. Because to me, it was like whatever was trying to get me that day was going to fucking get me eventually if I went back in the water. Right. And so for like years, I couldn't listen to the sound of the ocean. I couldn't be at the beach at night. Like, you and our little cousin would ask me, like, you know, let's go. And I'll be like, yeah, nah, you guys go. I'm good. And then last year, because my best friend's daughter, she loves the ocean, and she wanted to get in, but my friend doesn't like it. She was like, Maria, go with me. Like, come on. Like, you know, like, do this for me. You know, it's like, how am I going to tell a little kid no? Like, I'm trying to show her to be brave. I'm trying to show her to, like, you can do anything in life, right? And I'm over here being a fucking 30-year-old woman who can't even get in the ocean because I can't get over my fear. And so we went to, I don't want to say. Well, there's a beach that I asked you about, and you were like, yeah, that beach is really nice. That's where I go. And so we went there, and I was like, okay, the water seems chill enough here that we can go in. And so we went in, and that's kind of like what started helping me be able to get in the water. And so then I started getting more and more, but I still won't go like full body swim into the ocean type of thing. Like, I can't. But yeah, that's the paranormal thing that happened to me. And I don't know how mentally it is, or how traumatizing it is, or like if it really is like something that was there. Because, you know, like, there's a lot of people who have died at the ocean, and so there's a lot of souls that are there. Poor unfortunate souls again, you know. So.
Girl, I'm telling you, like, I don't know what made me open my eyes. I don't.
Yeah, while you were having a Moana moment, the ocean helping you. I was over here fucking like.
But like, it makes sense. I never knew why. I was like, to me, I was like, well, I understand. We both almost drowned, right? So to me, I was like, we had, well, what I thought was we had the same experience. So why are you so scared of the sounds of the ocean and just not wanting to be in the dark? And I would always like, I mean, I've gone to your house and I see all the lights, and I mean, I slept over and I know that you sleep with the lights on, but I never questioned it. I've never asked you, like, will you sleep with these on? Like, I thought it was cute. I never put two and two together that I had to do.
A Bella Swan moment. No, it's because of that. I don't know. It's crazy. It's hard for me to sleep in the dark. I always have to have a little light on. But yeah, babe, that's my paranormal experience. The ocean. And then I guess when I was little, living in Guatemala, to wrap that story up. When I was living in Guatemala, I used to go to this school that was 2 levels, and sometimes my friends and I would stay. Well, I wouldn't stay by choice. It was like I was waiting for someone to pick me up, and so we would like to go play in the 2nd floor. But the teachers and the janitor, they would say, don't. And you know, when they tell you don't, what do you do? What do you do? You go and do it. And so we always like going to play in the second floor. And why? I don't know, because it was literally only classrooms. But one time we were playing there and we thought there was more people in the school, in this floor, because we could hear kids laughing and like they were playing ball type of thing. And you could hear the sound of desks moving. And we go, and there was absolutely nothing. And we were like, what the fuck? Yeah. And so my friends, being brave, they were like, I'm gonna go check it out. And I was like, yeah, peace, bitches. You guys can die. You guys can be haunted. I'm out. And I remember running down the stairs and then all the way to the other side of the school, because this was like a school that it was like a whole, how do you call, like four corners, right? Like the whole school was like the four corners of the whole street. So we were on one side and I was like, fuck this shit, I'm leaving. And I went all the way to the other side. And you know, girl, that I hate running. Ever since I was a little girl, I've hated running. And I got there so fast. And the janitor, I think he asked me like what happened, and I was scared to tell him because, you know, we couldn't go on that side, and I was like, nothing. I'm scared that they're gonna pick me up and I'm not gonna be here. And so my friends, like, in the end, they said that they really didn't see anything, but they stopped hearing the noises too. And then other people at the school would always talk about how they would hear people on the second floor, well, kids on the second floor. And I don't know till this day if something happened in that school, like a kid died or something, because, you know, usually when you hear kids is because a tragedy happened, right? But yeah, I remember that when we were little, and I was like,
That's crazy.
Which school would this be? El Osorio? Just kidding.
No. No, it wasn't. It was el 12 de octubre, the one in La Reformita.
I'm like, is it the same traumatizing school that I... Just kidding.
Well, yours was natural disaster.
Mine was a natural disaster scare.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that one. And I guess, girl, if we're talking paranormal, girl, my entire fucking life. So, do you know the story about why I got baptized?
No.
Okay. So there's a story in our family, and obviously like other people could say it better, but when I was like 4 or 5 months old, she who shall not be named's mom gave me clothing. Like she was like, oh well, here you go, like here's some clothes for Maria.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation.
My bitch. This kid. You guys, this is Leslie at her finest, okay? You're getting to know her today. Anyway, so my mom didn't think anything of it, and she started dressing me in that clothes, right? And so my grandma says that around the time that this happened, our aunt, our little cousin's mom, she was over there and she was pregnant. And so she says that they were sitting in a table and they could see into the rooms. So place yourself like where we would eat and you could see into the rooms, right? And so she says that she saw something pass from one room to the other, and told my grandma. Yeah, so she told my grandma like, "Ay la china." So my mom, she's already like gonna try to scare us. And my grandma was like, nah, like I'm gonna go check. So she goes into my mom's room, and my mom is like chilling, dude. And she's like, what happened? And my grandma's like, you didn't just pass from this room to this room? And my mom's like, no, I've been here the whole time. And so my grandma's like, well, she said that she saw you. And my mom's like, no, but I thought it was you guys because I saw something. And so they're all like, what the fuck is happening, right? And at this point, La Abuelita Paula, she was still alive. Mm-hmm. And like the next day or something like that, something tripped her over. She said that she was walking and she felt like there was this like invisible barrier or something, and she just fell like face forward. And they were like, what happened? And she's like, I saw something and something tripped me over and I fell. And so, oh no, I was like 6 months old. And so my grandma, she said that every time they would put those clothes on me, I would start crying, I would start scratching my face, and it was like this like nonstop fucking thing that would happen to me. And so that she would grab both of my hands and she would start praying, and that's the only way that I would calm down. So I don't know who went to the house and told my mom like, this isn't normal, like you should take your daughter to, there was like this witchy lady that used to live around the block from the house. And so my grandma was like, you know what, I don't believe in any of that, but like I think you should, you know. And so the story goes that my mom went with me, and that I think my grandma was washing mamaita's clothing in the back of the house. You know, la pila that is in the back of the house. And so she saw this like shadow that looked like a chicken type of thing kind of follow my mom. Like it came out of the back door of the house and it went through the hallway, through the back of the house, and like it disappeared. And my grandma was like, what the fuck? So then when they took me to this lady was like, oh no, you gotta go and you gotta baptize that kid like fucking right away. And my mom was like, why? And she was like, you have a shadow of a tall, slim woman following you, and they want to see your kid. Like they're doing harm to your kid, pues. And so my mom was like, what the hell? And she obviously didn't know that my grandma saw this shadow like go after us, right? And so when they started talking and all, and they were like, oh hell no, like we gotta do this. So they went to the church in La Colonia, like at the where we used to go, and they had to baptize me like emergency status. And that's why, well, I don't know if that's the reason why, but like our tia was there at the time, and that's why she's my godmother.
Oh, that explains a lot. I always wondered that dynamic, but
you're like, how the fuck did that?
You know what's weird? So the same person that gifted you those clothes had told my mom, make sure you don't leave any of your children's clothes here, meaning at grandma's house, because this lady does things to them.
My grandma.
Our grandma. Told my mom that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. Ma'am. And now that makes sense. She probably used that as an example.
Oh. You see how that's crazy, right? And that's why she has the nickname that she has. Because, well, it is fitting.
She's a witch.
But yeah, babe, that is what happened to me when I was 6 months old.
That's crazy. So I'm seeing a pattern of a shadow following you.
Yeah, I guess so.
And that's crazy, girl. You need a limpia.
I do.
That's so crazy. That's weird that they saw a figure. But I was gonna ask you, do you remember when we stayed in the back part of the house?
Bitch, when we burned all of our clothes?
Yes. Okay.
Yes, I do.
What scared us?